phenomenal. Oh my God, get out of here. I love this. First of all, she's feeling herself right now. I love it. Oh, you can say it out loud too.
I love you so
much. I love you so much. She's right on the other side too. I love that. Well, that kind of reminded me of a fan interaction. So let's talk about how this franchise has changed and the fan base has developed alongside you guys since, let's say, season 6 to now developing the Teen Wolf movie.
We are very lucky, and we know it. We are so grateful for all of our fans around the world. I don't believe that we would be here without their love and support. We cherish our fandom as much as our fandom cherishes us, and I think that shows through the fan art and the different kinds of interactions that people have on all the different social platforms. I think there's just really something very special, like you say, about what Jeff and all the writers have created.
He was right there, yeah.
Now he's gone. A beautiful lady is standing there. But, it's lightning in a bottle. He captures something really wonderful that touched the hearts of many people. And I'm very lucky when I go around the world and I meet people from all ages and different countries. They connected with Mama McCall as a mom and our relationship on the show. And that is so special and something that as a young actress you don't think about is like connecting with people on a level where it really means something to them in their lives. And I think I will cherish that till the last day I'm on this planet.
Oh, I love that so much. And what about the fact that when you began this franchise, you were one of very few adults? And now look at the amount of adults that you're filming alongside. You were able to watch them grow. What was that like?
That is also another amazing benefit of being on a show that's brought back. When we started, a lot of the young ones were around. Hi, good to see you too. Oh. It's hard to concentrate. We're talking 18, 19, Tyler and Dylan and Tyler Hecklin, they were all in the same apartment in Atlanta when we were shooting. I mean, can you imagine that? And just for everybody to kind of, get the experience on the show and get the exposure from the show and the other things that they've been doing. And now here we are so many years later. It's just been an amazing ride. Absolutely. It really has been an amazing ride. And then to come together and see where everybody's been doing. And it was like a reunion. Mm-hmm. It really was.
15 years later in the fandom, or in the universe, but for you it's only been 5 years? So how?
Still a lot of time.
Still a lot of time.
A lot of things happen in 5 years.
Absolutely. I mean, we had a pandemic, that little thing.
Yes.
But how did you manage to get back in the mindset of your character?
So I don't know if the mindset ever left. It was my first experience, like literally having this happen, and so for me it was very easy to step back in. I think I love her. I love Mama McCall. I love the love that she receives. I love that people have embraced us as parents. That like you're saying, when we first started, they were like, the parents are going to be there, but then kids are going to rule this world, and we're never gonna see you again. And Jeff was really smart to write the parents in season 2, and so here we are, so many episodes later in a movie. I mean, it's amazing.
When you read the script for the movie, what was your initial reaction?
My initial reaction was, well, first off, it was this big, and then it became this big, and then it became this big. So my first reaction is, how do you harvest from 100 episodes everything that you could possibly create for the movie? And I think the writers and Jeff did an amazing job of doing that, and I can't wait for everybody to see it.
Oh, I'm looking so forward to it. Thank you so much, and congratulations.
It's really nice meeting you. Thank you. Thank you.
Was working on Teen Wolf the movie sort of a dream come true for you, or just Teen Wolf the franchise a dream come true for someone like you who cosplays in their free time?
Yeah, absolutely. I've been a part of the fandom space for as long as I can remember. I remember 2012 Tumblr, and I remember seeing Teen Wolf GIFs all over over the place.
Which one do you say?
All over Tumblr, all over Instagram, the video edits of all the characters and everything. So it's really funny to have seen these people's faces online for so long, and now they're my friends and my coworkers. It's crazy.
Who was your favorite character?
Oh, well, I actually hadn't watched the show until I got cast, but I did watch some of Colton Haynes' other shows, and so I was very excited to meet him.
Okay, we love
Does
to
that count?
hear that. Yeah, that's a great answer right there. When you did first meet them, were there any jitters at all?
Oh, definitely. I mean, it was so nerve-wracking, but I think it was kind of an advantage that I hadn't seen the show before because I didn't have the chance to be super nervous. I feel like if I'd grown up watching the show, I would have been like too stunned to speak. So.
Absolutely. The girl was too stunned to speak.
Yeah, exactly.
How did you manage to get in the mindset of your character?
For me, a big part of character is just their relationships to other people in the world. So I really just go through the script and I like take note of anything, any mention of like my history or how I might know other people. So talking to Dylan Sprayberry, who I have a lot of scenes with, really helped. We really discussed our characters and how they know each other. Just being around everyone too, who are so professional and have been doing this for so long, it really helps.
Absolutely. Who were you able to learn the most from?
That's a great question. I feel like probably Dylan, because we spent so much time together on set, and he really showed me the ropes. Like I got lost on the soundstage on my first day, and Dylan had to show me around and show me where we eat lunch and all of that.
I love that. That's exactly what you hope for, and everyone talks about how this cast and crew is very family-like. So what were sort of the events or the fun nights after filming that you guys would sort of do to bond?
Yeah, I mean, even on set, like during filming to keep each other awake, we were all hanging out. But I do remember our costume designer, Barb, she got an Airbnb while we were filming down in Atlanta. So we would go to her B&B and have like family dinners, and we would all cook together and play music and just stay up late. It was really fun.
So cute. Okay, tell us, before we go in there and watch it, what are we going to be the most surprised about?
I know I can't be specific. I think for the most part, it's just what everyone has been up to. Because it has been, I think, like 10 or 12 years in World since the show ended to when the movie starts. So I think the most shocking thing is just going to be like seeing where everyone's at now, the original characters, and seeing what they're up to.
Great. Your hair looks great. The suit looks great. Shoes look great. You smell damn good. Tom Ford. Really nice.
Give us a description. What's he smell like?
He smells woody and oaky with like hints of rosemary and natural Mother Earth and musk and manliness. That's what it's smelling.
I concur.
I mean, no.
It's called Manly Mother Earth Musk. That's the name of the cologne.
Rolled in some dirt.
Yeah, exactly.
Love it. Hi, Dylan. I'm Jess. Nice to
Dylan,
meet
nice to meet
you.
you.
Oh my goodness. It seems like every time you all come back together, it's just a family reunion. Your crew seems to be very close. But what is it about the crew that makes you guys so close?
I think we all genuinely love, acting and creating film and TV. So I think we all genuinely share that true love for the craft. For me, I joined on to the team a lot later than a lot of the people, so there was already this energy that I was just able to kind of walk into and mesh with really well. And I've said this before, but especially with Tyler and Dylan when I started on the show, we all had like the same interests, like skateboarding and punk music and movies, and so it was like I met two brothers that were always there that I never got to be with.
So when you were the new kid in school, it didn't really feel like you were the new kid in school, is that right?
I mean, I was nervous. I was really nervous because the Teen Wolf had such hype to it and all the success, and everyone is amazing on the show, and I just wanted to do a good job, as I think anybody would, stepping onto something that was already at a height. But that kind of happens with anything that you film. It's like once you do the first take and you're on camera, it's kind of like you peel off the lid or whatever you want to call it, and then you're fine after that. But the build-up is intense.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And we know the fans are very passionate. How were they with welcoming you in to begin with?
It was funny because I remember, and I mean, we're talking about like 7-8 years ago at this point, which is hilarious. But I remember when I first joined, we were playing my character like as if I was maybe going to be a villain. So everyone hated me right at first. And then I got bit, and then it was like, oh, okay, we can like him. He's Team Scott, so we're Team Liam. And it was funny to see that change. And at first, it was a little intense. I was like, is it always going to be like this? Are they going to always hate me? And luckily, that changed.
So now you get the call 5 years later about Teen Wolf, the movie. What was your initial reaction?
I remember Jeff called me, and he was like, everything was in hypotheticals. Like, if we did another film, would you want to do it? And I was like, fuck yeah, I would want to do it, of course. I was so excited, and he told me pretty early on that we were going to do a big time jump, so we were going to get to play adults, and which I was really excited to do because that meant no more shaving, and
you can look like yourself.
Exactly. It was I had to shave my chest hair and my face hair, and I was like, I get to let it all rock this time, so. That was really fun. But I was so excited, and I'm always forever grateful to Jeff for the first opportunity and this opportunity.
How did you manage to get back in the mindset of playing your character?
This little mic is so funny.
Yeah,
so
right? It's the best.
This is the first time I've been interviewed with one of these notorious tiny mics. It's so cute.
Right.
Obviously, like I was talking about before, I had to account for the time jump. You know, a lot had happened in the time we hadn't seen the characters. But I really feel that Jeff and all the writers from the very start were very observant of me as a teenager in real life, and really were able to kind of mesh my energy and things I was going through as a teenager into Liam. So I kind of feel like he's another side of me, like the other side of the coin kind of thing. So going into it, it was kind of like just slicing butter, you know. It was really easy to get back into that headspace, and it felt really good.
Oh, that's good to hear. So coming on set, first day of Teen Wolf, the movie, is it like, are you just having a ton of fun, or are you getting right into the action?
I'm trying to. What the hell? Oh! I remember what we filmed on the first day. We immediately jumped into action. In my first scene, I had to do a werewolf roar.
Oh,
so it's like we broke right into it. No fucking around. And but it's like I said before. It was very much so. I was nervous. And as soon as I did that first, then it was like, all right, we're back in it. Let's fucking do this.
If you were to do a werewolf howl right now, do you think anyone would respond?
Yes.
Do you want to do it?
Do a werewolf howl?
Yeah. They left you hanging.
I'm the only one that commits, so what can I say?
I love it. They won't leave you hanging in the movie, though. That we know.
We'll see.
That we hope. Thank you so much. You realize you just left Dylan hanging. He tried to give a howl and no one reciprocated.
Oh, he wanted a pack return howl?
Yeah.
I didn't want to interrupt everybody's stuff.
So, do you think we could get one at the end of this, maybe?
Ask me at the end.
We'll see about that.
See, it's a strong maybe.
Okay, I like the odds there. It's the probability of us getting yet another Teen Wolf, the movie.
Okay, yeah.
Okay,
Your
like
odds are
that.
increasing. You will get it won't be that loud, but you will get something.
I like that. Okay, now let's talk about the movie a little bit. For you being adult in Teen Wolf, the series, you were one of the few adults, I would say. Everyone else, they were in their teens. So
Oh no, for sure. So me, JR, Lyndon, and Melissa,
Yeah.
Matt Del Negro, Seth, Dr. Deaton, and that was pretty much everybody. Yeah, and then everyone else they were teenagers.
Yeah.
I was un-teenager.
Exactly.
Slightly elevated teenager into the next decade or so.
Just a bigger version of
Yeah,
a
but
teen.
you gotta have everything. You can't have just teens.
Exactly. Yeah. So what was it like to see these teenagers grow over the years?
We started like about 12 years ago. So if you imagine watching someone 16, 17, 18 go through their formative stuff and then, become a Posey. I think he's 30 now, grown-ass man. So watching the patterns and the streaks that people go on and the good times and the bad times, it's like family. It's like going to college for 12 years and you just get to keep being in people's lives. So we go on vacations together. I mean, me and this guy, we spend almost every New Year's together with him and me and Tyler Hecklin. We're like, what are we doing for New Year's next year? So it's gorgeous, man. We have an extra family and we love it. And we don't want to stop.
Yeah. What is it about this cast and crew that makes you all so close?
I think Jeff Davis curated a group of people that have the same heart and desire and work ethic and wish to do well and to learn from each other and to not be big-headed or selfish. And when he picked people, he assembled a group that worked together like a team, a bunch of superstars that also want to be together. And if you don't have that part, a superstar team will fail. But if they want to be together, then so that I give Jeff all the credit for that.
Absolutely. Who do you feel like grew the most from the start of the show to now, Teen Wolf the movie? And you have a lot to look back on over the years.
1,000,000,000%. And when we got to Atlanta to do this movie in, I think, April, and then go back and do the reshoots, I was like this. I was in awe of him. I mean, I've known him for so long. I mean, he was a kid, and who he is in life now. I get chills.
Yeah. No, that's great to hear. It just seems like with this cast and crew, you guys really are so incredibly close, and I've interviewed a decent amount of casting crews, but it's just a different feeling here.
It's different, right? It's true.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's a bunch of casts that love each other and they all have a great time. These people grew up together, literally, and not just spent X amount of time, but went through all of it. I mean, everything you can think of, and that just gives you a bond that that's literal brothers and sisters.
Yeah, and you think about what was and wasn't around at the start of the series. Social media wasn't really huge back then.
I remember Colton Haynes used to be sitting in the corner in between takes, tweeting, and we were like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "I got to tweet, bro." And we're like, "What the F does that mean?" When you're talking nonsense, he's like, "This is important." And that was season 1 or 2.
Wow.
And so in the decade that, since then, of course, we know what it means, how powerful it is, but he had his finger on the pulse before anybody.
He knew what he was doing, I guess you could say.
Yeah, still does. I hope he's here tonight. I haven't seen him, but
we'll be keeping our eyes peeled.
God, I miss him. He's going to be wearing like a lime green suit and make me look bad.
Oh, you guys will go great next to each other then.
You think so?
Yeah.
Jess, thank you.
Thank you.
I appreciate that.
I need to know, though, real quick, when you received the call from Jeff Davis that there was going to be Teen Wolf the movie, what was your initial reaction?
It was a text, and it said, "How do you feel about a Teen Wolf movie?" And then the next line said, "We can't do it without Peter." And I wrote back, "We can't do it without Peter."
Aww.
I'm in. And it was instant. I was in my dad's garage, like getting the ice from the little fridge to the big fridge. And I was like, "Oh, Jeff's texting." And that's a nice text to get. And when you're like, "Oh, we're going to do a movie," and then your mind starts going, and then you get excited and have something to look forward to. And here we are. I can't wait to see. Everyone seems to have seen it but me.
Oh,
I
really?
haven't seen it.
So did your original expectations when Jeff called you live up to what ended up happening for you in the movie?
The script, yeah, absolutely. And we had a blast. We had incredible, we had our director back, Russell Mulcahy. We had all the components. We had time and a budget and all the performers. So yeah, of course. I want to make 6 of them.
Yes, that's what we're hearing from everyone. I love to hear that.
Why would we stop? It doesn't make any sense.
Just keep it going.
These characters are they're beloved. These are generational characters.
Absolutely.
So
thank you so
that's
much.
my 2 cents.
I love it, and it's definitely valid. We can't do it without Peter, so let's keep it going.
Well, if you say so, I'll stick around.
Thank you so much.
Jess,
Looking
it's my
forward to
pleasure.
watching it.
All right,
Thank
I'll see you around
you.
tonight.
First of all, I love this outfit. I'm like distracted by what you're wearing right now. Yeah, how long did it take you to pick this one out? You already have this at home?
I didn't have this at home. No, I had a little help. I tend to not lean on stylists for help, but I knew what I wanted. I wanted a Western suit.
Why?
Why?
Why Western?
Because the mustache.
Okay, it makes sense.
It felt good. I bought a pair of cowboy boots. I've got a Stetson cowboy hat. I'm becoming a Western guy.
Yeah.
Becoming a cowboy.
What about the snakes? Where does that play in?
The snakes are very Western.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? You got a snake in my boot. You know, Woody, the toy from
Yes,
Toy Story.
I know exactly
Also,
what you're talking about.
it's very traditional, American traditional tattooing. I've got a lot of snakes tattooed on me, and it just felt right.
I love it, Tyler.
Yeah, thank you.
It's so great to chat with you and the rest of the cast and crew in preparation for Teen Wolf, the movie. But you now being a producer of the movie, what was that transition like for you?
Well, I started producing the last couple seasons of Teen Wolf, the show. I directed. I've been wanting. Teen Wolf has always been so good about helping elevate our careers in whichever field we want. So they've been really good at helping me kind of break in new doors, and I fucking love this show. I love the show. I care about it more than anybody I know. And it only felt right to have another hat where I can, have a say in what goes, and just I'm always there on set. So it just felt right for me to, be able to overstep my boundaries as an actor and be like, you know what, maybe we do this shot, or set up over here, or let's go. We're about to, lose our daylight. So it feels good to have, more of a say. I like being in control.
Basically, what he's saying is he likes being in charge.
Yeah, exactly.
Who do you feel like had the most growth from the series to the movie?
Shit, I don't know. I think all of us killed it. Like, really, I'm really proud of all of us as actors and performers. Myself, I was blown away. I'm really proud of what we did. Hecklin killed it. Colton killed it. I don't know. I think I did a really fucking good job. I was just really impressed with it. It's the best I've ever seen Scott McCall, and we kicked our asses for this, and really wanted to be the best that we could. And the show deserves it. The fans deserve it. They deserve to be, in awe of us coming back and feel the difference in us, and know that we're adults, just like the fans are adults now, because they were kids when the show started. They're adults now, and it's fucking cool.
That, you're welcoming more kids now into the movie.
Exactly.
So it's just generations of growth with Teen Wolf, the franchise overall. And what has it been like to see the fandom grow?
Yeah, it's the greatest. I love it. I love meeting people, the fans, watching newcomers, like kids who are like 8 years old now, be like, I love you. I'm like, you weren't even born when the show started. And so that's just, it's so fun. And I think it does transcend, and it holds up, People can be watching the show forever, and it still, resonate the same way with newcomers. I fucking love it. I love the fans. I love talking to them and hearing you guys out, and listening to your stories about how Teen Wolf changed your life, and then we reflect on the same shit. And I don't know, dude. It's fucking cool. It's an interesting life. It could be really weird. People are coming up to me randomly and be like, touching me. It could be really weird, but it's so appreciated and fun, and I don't take myself too seriously, and I always give them the time of day, and we would be nothing without the fans. Like, I don't think it would have come back as a movie if people didn't give a shit about it. You know what I mean? So
Exactly, yeah. How did your expectations for Scott McCall in Teen Wolf, the movie, differ compared to what ended up playing out in the movie?
I had high expectations. I wanted to come back full force and better than ever. And then watching it I knew what I did on set, but it's always hard to tell until you actually see the finished product. And I was super fucking proud of it. Did I answer that question right? Was that right? Was that what you asked me?
Basically,
Okay.
your initial, I guess, your thoughts for what you expected to happen in this movie for
Before I
Scott
read it?
McCall. Yeah, before you read it.
Oh, yeah, I had no idea. I had no idea. I was hoping that he was going to be a little bit older. I didn't know he was going to be 15 years older.
Yeah.
And so I had no idea what the hell to expect. And I'm pleasantly surprised with it, and very, very happy about it. Yeah.
I can't wait to see it play out. Is that interesting?
Yeah, it's very interesting.
The first thing I ever shot with Teen Wolf was with this guy.
It was?
It was the scene
Crashing in your-
the getting your juice.
That was the first scene? No, it wasn't.
No,
Was it?
was No, was it?
It may have been. You might be right.
No, that's a lie. You heard it here first. I lied. I think it was lacrosse. But we only had one take to do that line that everyone likes. So
That was one take.
Jeff paid his producer fee to make sure that scene happened because they were trying to shut it down.
Wow. Holy shit.
Which line were you referring to? The one that everyone
The
likes?
where are you getting your juice?
My
line.
mom does all the grocery shopping.
Yeah, that one.
Iconic, dude.
That was one take.
To the shoes.
Cool, right?
Yeah, who's got the better outfit today?
Posey.
You're the
You can't compare. It's like
No, it's
apples and oranges.
far too different.
I've been listening to a ton of interviews with you guys, so I've been very eager to chat with you. And I learned that you used to collect comic books when you were younger. How
I
much?
wanted to be a comic book artist, actually. Yeah.
How much do you think the fact that you collected comic books and you wanted to be a comic book writer played into the creation of Teen Wolf?
It was a huge part. We always described Scott McCall as Peter Parker, just with werewolf powers instead of spider powers. So, yeah, it was a big influence for me. I had a hand in designing a lot of the creatures myself because they came back from my comic book background and drawing as a kid. So it was really fun to be able to do it. We always described Teen Wolf as sort of a comic book horror film.
Yeah. And it's awesome to think that you made those childhood dreams come true with this, right?
Yeah.
So now, with working with this cast, you were able to be the one to call and text all of this cast and say, hey, would you be interested? Did you really think anyone was going to say no?
I had an inkling that some people maybe moved on, but I was surprised just how many said yes. How many were so willing to jump back in. And one of the people who surprised me most was Tyler Hoechlin. He not only wanted to be part of it, he wanted to be part of the making of it. So we made him a producer on it, and it was really phenomenal. So it was nice to see that so many people still had so much love for it.
Yeah, and how was it to see Tyler Hoechlin in that role as a producer?
It was great. It was nice to see him take on that responsibility. It was amazing. Yeah.
Who do you think grew the most from the series over to Teen Wolf the movie now?
Oh my God, that's a tough question because we literally watched people grow up on the show. I would say probably Tyler Posey. I mean, he was a skater kid from the Valley when we first met him, and he grew into a real #1 on the show. He grew into a real leader. He directed an episode. He was a producer. It was amazing to watch.
In what way did he really grow?
Taller.
That's what I was wondering if you were going to get that. Love to hear it.
Certainly no more mature than he was. Not at all.
But in terms of their acting chops, he absolutely grew in that way as well.
Oh yeah. He laughs about season 1. He'll say, "Yeah, did you watch season 1? I couldn't act back then." I was like, "You could act. You were just new." So, but it was nice to see him really learn and really come into the craft.
Yeah. And what about in terms of all of these characters? Who do you think grew the most?
Oh wow. I'll tell you, in terms of the character themselves, the one that surprised me the most, which with their story, was Lydia. We never knew just how big a role she was going to be. But she became one of my favorite characters to write for, one of my favorite actors to write for. And I would say she was just a huge development from the pilot on.
Yeah. And the only other person to star in every episode, right?
Almost every episode.
Oh,
Yes.
almost.
Yeah. The only person who was in every single episode was Tyler. But I think Holland was #2 to that. Yeah.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. When I went through and I rewatched every episode, and it was the same thing, right?
How did the special effects look?
They definitely got better over time. Yeah. What was that like for you, though, with each season getting renewed and now a movie, for you to be able to see the way the special effects grew over time?
It was crazy.
Yeah.
I don't know, anytime it feels like you never have enough money to make your passion project or whatever you're working on, but we made it work. So I think it still comes down to the characters.
Happy birthday, Vince. Is this the best way to celebrate your birthday or what?
Yes. Yes. I'm just kidding. Yeah. It's definitely a cool way to celebrate my birthday. I had to do like no work to set it up too. You know, it was like an after party, which is I can act like it's my birthday party, and I'll just act like it's my birthday party. Like, it was all for me. All for me. No. But no, definitely a cool way to celebrate it. This is surreal. This is crazy.
I need to know, before you were cast in the movie, did you watch the series?
No. I'll be honest. I didn't. But I definitely knew about it. Its presence was definitely heavily like in everybody's childhood. I feel like everybody knows the name Teen Wolf. It was huge, you know. So yeah, when I received the audition opportunity, I definitely recognized the name. I was like, oh, Teen Wolf. Okay. Hot werewolf men. I don't know if I'm gonna get this, but it worked out, so here I am. I'm more of like a werewolf boy though, maybe.
Wereboy.
Wereboy.
Yeah, sure.
Where is the boy? Where is he? I was kidding, yeah.
So when you got the call for the audition, did you go ahead and watch the series at that point or no?
I didn't have time, so I booked the role, and then I was flown out to California 2 days later, and I was in New York, and yeah, it was crazy. So I had zero preparation. Also, the script was like halfway done by the beginning of shooting.
Oh, wow.
So there was like zero preparation. Anything you see in this movie, I memorized the day before. You know, that's how acting goes sometimes. You know what I mean? That's how it is. Yeah.
Incredible. I can't wait to see how it plays out. Who do you feel like you learned the most from?
Definitely Tyler Posey. It was really cool because I got to see him have this sense of like reuniting with his past, you know, being on set, being on the Teen Wolf set, being in filming locations that were reused, you know, and seeing him get to take it in just made me go, wow, I should be so grateful for this opportunity. And but also I learned a lot of acting tips too. A lot of like marks, you have to hit your mark properly, you know. There's like camera right, camera left, which is actually opposite of the right. So camera right would be, you know, my left. So it's just like all these little things that you would learn on set, you know. But yeah, I would say Tyler Posey for sure taught me a lot.
Did you get a lot of jokes made at you for being the youngest or one of the youngest in this cast?
Not really jokes, more just like, oh, you're a baby. Oh, you're just a baby.
Who was saying that?
Like Shelly be saying that all the time. That's really about it. No, I'm just kidding. No, other people be calling me babies, young, you know. Yeah.
Yeah, with you coming in as one of the new members, what did they do in order to help you with feeling included?
I mean, just talk to me, you know, ask me.
Oh.
Granted, you suck at lacrosse.
I do. I'm so bad at lacrosse, but I cradled it eventually.
You did. You figured it out, dude. But it takes a little while. I grew up with lacrosse in my life. My dad was
Yeah, I actually do really suck at lacrosse. So he just made fun of me just now. I just got bullied in real time.
There it is. It really does happen.
There you go. There you go. But yeah.
You're just gonna take that?
Yeah, it's Tyler Posey. I gotta take it. You know, I gotta bow down to the king. You know? The thick Look at this mustache. What the crap? Do you see this?
okay, cool.
I just wanna like
Do it. Do the sides.
Do the sides,
Throw
yeah.
the sides a little bit. There you go. What do you think?
Oh god. Yeah, that looks good.
Can you tell us what the inside joke was between the two of you? You said something about that one.
Oh yeah. Reese's peanut butter cup.
Oh yeah.
That too.
I forgot
But
about that.
Sub bitch. Yeah. Sub bitch.
What's the backstory there?
I just went in the trailer and, you know, we already like worked a few days and then he was just like, sub bitch. Like, you know, so yeah, that's it. Sub bitch. And I'm that bitch. Yep, that's it. But also there was like this thing where I was like, I don't know, sometimes my brain goes like multiple directions while I'm thinking. So I was like, hey, I was eating a Reese's peanut butter cup behind him in the van and he like turned around because I was chewing kind of loud. And I was like, oh, sorry, I'm just eating a Reese's peanut butter cup. And he's like, Reese's peanut butter cup. Like, he just like makes fun of like, you know, how people talk. He pays attention to people's like actions, you know, a lot. I'm similar though too. Yeah, for sure.
I love it. You can just tell how close you all are. That is 100% apparent. What are we going to be the most surprised about with this movie?
It's a good ending, you know? It's the ending that people will want. And you're getting it. I mean, it's pretty long. That's pretty surprising.
15 years.
Honestly, how good it looks, the movie looks significantly better than the show. Like the cinematography, like the lighting, It looks more like it looks like a film, you know. It looks like a film, and I think that's kind of surprising. I think Teen Wolf fans are like that. Yeah.
I'm looking forward to watching it. Thank you so much. Okay, I'm actually very eager to hear from you because I need to know the inside scoop.
The inside scoop.
I need to know who does their own stunts.
Honestly, on this show, every single actor did their own stunts.
No way.
There were certain things that we can't let them do, just liability-wise. We can't ratchet people in the air, you know. But I mean, you will see in all of the fight scenes, we have the actors doing everything. I mean, they did everything. We had incredible doubles who, you know, were there and ready. They helped the actors get ready for what they were going to be doing. But the actors did 90% of everything that made it to the screen.
Incredible. And you were the stunt coordinator for the series as well as for Teen Wolf, the movie.
Yeah, I grew with the show. Yes. I started season 2, and I got to double a few of the characters, and then I started fight coordinating the show, and then I started stunt coordinating specific episodes. I was friends with the coordinators at that time, and then by the end I was coordinating several episodes every season. And then, you know, 10 years later, I came back and got to coordinate the movie.
Awesome. Who did you notice grew the most when it comes to stunts? From the series to the movie now. Who impressed you?
Well, there was a 50-50 split as far as actors coming back and leveling up their game, and new actors and actresses coming in with skills that are out of this world. I mean, every single actor came in, and you can tell that they have been training. There's a lot of actors who are so focused on the art of what they do that, you know, just physicality-wise, you can't get them to run and jump. And you know, when it comes to fighting, it's like if you can't hit a good pose, no one will ever believe it.
Yes.
How are you?
Good. Sorry to interrupt.
How did Amy do?
Well, when I heard that we needed an actress to come in and swing a sword around and kind of be the next Kira and even a level above Kira, I thought our work was really, really cut out for us. We brought on Caitlin Deschelle, who also worked on the show. Caitlin Deschelle is like a 150-time world champion sword expert, so I'm like, she will be able to teach this actress and hopefully get her to look like she knows what she's doing. And Amy came in and was swinging the sword like Caitlin, without any training. When she showed up, she was swinging the sword like the highest level of stunt person and martial artist that I've ever met. So, yeah, she was a gift.
I can only imagine what her parents' faces are going to be like watching this, just hiding, closing their eyes for half of the movie, I assume.
I'm sure that her parents are so used to her running around swinging a sword that it's nothing for them.
Right, absolutely. Thank you so much. I'm looking forward to watching it. Congrats. What was it like to film with this cast and crew to reunite with everyone?
It was great. It was really great. The energy was really up and positive, regardless of the long hours of the day or the night. Everyone, I think, was very excited to be back with each other after a while. The chemistry is still intact. I think it was a great experience.
Who do you feel like had the biggest transition from the series to the movie now?
I think that for me it was Tyler Posey. I remember him as being a kid.
Yes.
Now he's like a man. He's like a man's man. He's like, you know, a fully formed, in his own skin, self-realized, beautiful man.
Yeah, well, that's the craziest part. I went ahead and I watched back from the beginning, and just to see how everyone has transitioned, and you were able to see everyone pretty much from start to finish and see them as kids, and now they're in their 30s, they're full-grown adults. They're just about the same age that, let's say, someone like Jeff Davis was when he started.
When he had the whole idea.
Exactly.
Yes. It's pretty wild to watch people kind of grow from afar and then come face to face with them again and see for yourself the changes that they've undergone and the growth they've undergone and the people they've become.
Yeah. And what about the growth of the fan base now? Because there's constantly new fans being added to the Teen Wolf fan base.
Yes, it's a phenomenon. It's a worldwide phenomenon. I was just talking with Jeff outside about it, about the millions upon millions of people around the globe who've come to embrace this show as their very own, and claim it as their very own, and then pass it along to people who they love and care about. Oh, you've got to watch the show,
Yes.
and then turn them on to it. It's really exciting.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I'm looking so forward to watching it. What do you think people are going to be the most surprised about with the movie?
I don't know. I haven't seen any of it. I don't know what would be.
You haven't seen it yet?
No, I haven't. This is going to be my first viewing of it. Yeah, I'm excited for it. I don't
So
know.
maybe you're going to be right along there with them. You'll be surprised. Yeah.
Because I've got no answers from Jeff.
From what I've seen, they're keeping it very hush-hush. So
Yes.
I guess we'll all be very excited and surprised alongside you.
time,
Yeah,
yes.
thank you so much.